Hello and welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Monday the 4th of November. Or welcome to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. If it's the first time visiting, my name's Wayne Lawrence and this is basically me rambling on about things that have happened in the news of the day. Or of the weekend, because first of all I'm going to speak about the Rugby World Cup that we didn't win, we didn't bring it home. So sad times. Got up early Saturday morning and was full of excitement as everybody was, and then we went and we lost. But somebody's got to lose, unfortunately, and we're good at losing. That's one good thing about us Brits. We're good at losing. We're used to it, and we take it on the chin, and we just get on with it. The commiseration's almost a celebration, you know. People were. I just kept seeing people put pictures on Facebook all day long on Saturday. Pictures from the pub as they slowly got more and more pissed. But they were pissed from the moment the kick-off, which was 9 o'clock, wasn't it? So, but then, you know, you just think, well, fuck it, we're here now. We might as well just celebrate other stuff, or, you know, celebrate second place. It was good. I mean, it was great. It's a shame that I've got like, what's the word? I've got that feeling that you get when something's all over and you're lost a little bit. So it's a shame. But anyway, we've got the Six Nations and all that to come and whatever else. So autumn internationals, are they going to be on? I don't know. I'm speaking like I'm some kind of expert rugby man now, but I'm not. I've got right into it at the World Cup, and anyway, congratulations to South Africa, and yeah, and that was the highlight of my weekend, in the sense that it was the spectacle of my weekend. It wasn't the highlight that we lost, but yeah, so that was. I didn't do much else. So hopefully you had a better one than me, and. What's been happening today? Well, John Bercow, the Speaker of the House, stepped down at the weekend, or is now his position is now up for grabs. The only reason I wanted to mention him was because they're talking now. When they want to replace him, they want to replace him with somebody that is not so is a bit quieter and doesn't speak his mind so much like he does. I mean, he was quite a character, wasn't he? He was quite like. Eccentric in his language and stuff, the way he sort of used to talk to the politicians like they were little kids and stuff. I quite liked him for that. And it also showed some highlights of how they take on the position, where they go and drag them. It's like a tradition to drag them from their parliamentary seat and drag them down to the front and drag them up to the seat like some kind of like fucking, like it's you know, like they don't really want to go kind of thing. It's really weird. Some of these English British traditions is like fucking, you know, it's very odd, you know, all these kind of it's what all the, you know, nobody in the working classes have got quite as many sort of traditions as these kind of people, let's put it that way. Apart from going to the pub, getting pissed and picking up your paycheck and chucking it behind the bar and using the fruit machine. But yeah, all that stuff in the House of Commons is all very like, I don't know. You just think, what the fuck's all that for? Just get up and go to the seat. But anyway, something that he said cracked me up when somebody was questioning what he was saying one day in the court, in the Parliament. And I actually thought he was going to say it, because he said, I couldn't give, so if people don't like what I've got to say, I couldn't give a flying flamingo, is what he said. So I might try and take a leaf out of his book, the way I don't watch my P's and Q's. I swear without knowing, so if you think I swear too much, then you're probably right. But sometimes I've got no control over it, you know. I'll get passionate and then the swear words come out. But if I can chuck in a flamingo or one now and then maybe I'll try and remember, because that was quite a classic line, because he's just off the cuff, he's come out with that. And I bet he was just about to say, I don't give a flying fuck, you know, but he's just said, I couldn't give a flying flamingo. There you go, so that's funny enough. Britain's in the. It's been raining all day. I know you know as much as well as I do what it's been like the last few weeks. But today, I mean, Jesus Christ, it was like monsoon. It was. I changed my clothes twice today. It's horrendous. So anybody's listening here from Barbados or anywhere like that, I know you're not, but anybody listening from some hot country, just imagine constant rain. Like when you, but it's not even like it's teasing you because it rains. It stops and you go right. It stopped. You go out. All of a sudden, it fucking belted down the rain on me, and I had to come back and change my clothes and then go out again. But nevertheless, tomorrow we've got a change in weather, even though it's going to go back to rain again at the weekend. -4 degrees tomorrow in what they're calling a Scandinavian Shiver. That sounds exciting. A -4 Scandinavian Shiver is due to blast Britain from tomorrow, making the coldest November across the country since the big freeze of 2010. So that's something to put in your diary and to look forward to. It's -4, so all the bonfires that are going to be... so the bonfires of tomorrow night and the fireworks of Guy Fawkes night, they've got a challenge of -4 weather, possibly... I don't think it's whether it's forecast rain tomorrow, but actually I'm glad I've just saw that, because I've actually decided not to go to a market tomorrow, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should go. I should have gone. But now I've just seen that it's going to be -4. I think I've fucking made the right decision with hindsight, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, so if it's going to be like -4 for the rest of the week, when the rain comes, it's going to be -4 and raining. So there you go. Oh God, only have another 6 months of this. It's all right. I like the cold weather. I don't mind the cold weather when you've got the right clothes on. It's just fucking, you know, what, you don't know which to put on, do you? So now mine is cold, warm coat. But when the rain comes, you know. Anyway, you got to have like 100 different sort of types of coats or clothes to anticipate the weather. Donald Trump was booed out of the crowd for the second weekend running when he attended the UFC tournament. He must just literally, you've got to expect it, hasn't he? Surely he must just. But the good thing about him is, it's water off a duck's back. I don't think it even phases him. He only ever hears the people who are chanting his name, because there's always certain people who are still his supporters and stuff in the room, and they're the only ones that he hears, because he's already come out and said it was a great atmosphere, great energy. People were shouting overwhelmingly positive, but that was not what everybody else heard. Everybody else heard the booing and the you know, the anti-Trump thing. I don't know. I wasn't there. It could be propaganda, but anyway, he's turned up. It's a strange place for him to find himself. Anyway, a UFC title fight or whatever it was, the baddest motherfucker belt or whatever it was called. Yeah, so there you go. He probably thinks he was there because it's the baddest motherfucker belt. He probably puts himself on that. Maybe he wanted to hand it over from one badass to another, but sad ass is what most people in the room are thinking. One sad ass to another, Donald. I'm sure. Does somebody have any plaques with that on? Maybe they should think about that for the next time. So the next sport, he might be thinking, right, fuck the sporting events off now. They don't like me. He should be thinking that, but he don't. He'll blazingly just fucking turn up and just go, not bothered, man. He's like, I wish we, you know, some of us probably wish we could have those, you know, don't touch me. I don't care what people say, but some of us are more sensitive than that, and we take it to heart. Some people who might take it to, well, is something along those lines. Andy, what's his surname? Andy Windsor. What's the Prince? I forget their surname. I should know this, shouldn't I? The Andrew, Prince Andrew. Anyway, is been described as the least popular royal. No shit, Sherlock is the least popular royal, and Meghan comes second. Well, I mean, he is. You know, how can he not be the least popular royal at the moment? I mean, look at the shitstorm that's hanging around his head. He's never going to walk away from that. He'll never have to deal with it either, probably, which is the shame. But anyhow, or at least answer some questions about it. It's, you know, it's crazy how some certain people are above scrutiny, should I say. Anyway, Meghan's second. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I guess she's like a thorn in the side of the royals a little bit, in the sense that Harry's He just fucking can't be bothered with it. He wants the lifestyle, but he doesn't want to fucking be bothered with the hassle of the cameras and stuff, does he? So anyway, there you go. What is their second name? Is it Windsor? I don't know what it is. I've got to find that out. There you go. Fucking hell. Wasn't taught that one. I don't think I was ever taught that in school. So it's down to you to find out, I suppose. I'm not that bothered, to be fair. Telly star Nigel Havers says he has avoided the Me Too style scandals by charming women into bed. Go on, Nigel. Nigel is the what was his the Charmer? What was the show called? He once starred in a show called The Charmer. So there you go. It was the perfect fit for the role, then, wasn't he? But he was a bit of a suave guy, and he's a suave actor, isn't he? And he's got a bit of money, which doesn't hurt. Ladies like milk tray, but they also like champagne and yachts and 5-star hotels and that. So you can't just come at them with the milk tray guys and a pint and a whatever. You got to splash out a bit, I think. But he ticks all the boxes, does Nigel? I mean, he's getting on now. He's 67, but he still looks the business. But there you go. And he avoided all the Me Too scandal and stuff. He said, "I don't understand how people can do that sort of thing. Why the fuck would you bother? Why would you bother?" He didn't say why the fuck. Why the Flamingo did you bother? Would you bother? But then that's because people are power-hungry parasites, and they, especially when you look at somebody like Harvey Weinstein, ugly, big, fat motherfucker, and he's talking about beautiful young girls who wouldn't look at him in the fucking slightest twice. And the only way he's ever going to get any kind of get anywhere with these kind of girls is by fucking bullying them and using his power against them, because otherwise he's just a fat ugly man, isn't he? It's a shame that some people felt pressured to do that. So there you go. But he's getting his comeuppance now. Well, I hope he's getting his comeuppance. He hasn't yet, but he's facing all sorts of allegations and stuff. So he should do, because then Americans don't muck about, do they? When they do send someone down, they give them like years in prison that you can't even possibly ever live. Like some people have been given something like 450 years or something. It's like they couldn't possibly ever live them, but you just know there's no chance of ever getting out. So even when you die, you're still going to be serving your sentence. Good. The more the merrier of these kind of people go down, the better. Violinist reunited with his violin. Remember that violin that got nicked last week? 250 grand. Well, it didn't get nicked. He left it on the train. And somebody happened to chance or found it, or unless the person nicked it, but initially thought he'd left it. It's turned up, or somebody got in touch. I told you it was a hot potato. People were going, it's going to be hard to shift that, and it's all going to come. And when it's something that valuable, the police get right involved, don't they? So, and they had a CCTV picture of a guy. So somebody's got back in touch, and he's called himself Gene. That's not his real name. But he brought, and they did a meet up in a car park or somewhere, and he handed it back to him. So good, there you go. It's come back into the right hands. So there don't ever take, if you've got a violin worth 250 grand, I don't give a shit how good it sounds. Just don't ever take it out of the house. Or you've got to send it by bodyguard or something or other. You can't take it on the tube and stuff, can you? That's ridiculous. Drivers are taking. This is crazy. Drivers are taking Viz magazine's advice by conning police with T-shirts emblazoned with a picture of a seatbelt. Basically, it's a white T-shirt with a black line coming down here, and people are actually wearing these to avoid the police fine by not wearing your seatbelt. How pathetic is that? I mean, who could be bothered to go to the effort of wearing a shit T-shirt, because it's a shit looking T-shirt with a seatbelt looking thing on it, so that you don't have to put your seatbelt on? That's just brainless. Is that not just fucking ridiculous? You fucking know about it when you go through the windshield anyway, but they'll be like, oh look, is that idiot's got like one of those seatbelt T-shirts on. He's dead now. So we can't even like give him his £60 fine. Never mind. But the bottom line is, it's a shit t-shirt, and you're going to the effort to put the t-shirt on and walk around in it all day just so that you don't put your seatbelt on. Doesn't make any sense, and if you've got one, then you're a prat, if you ask me. And if you're driving it in a Lamborghini, then you're a bigger prat. I don't know why Lamborghini. Your sports car with your seatbelt off. You know, you're not big and you're not clever. You're gonna pay the price somewhere down the line. But I often forget to put my seatbelt on. But I forget to put it on, and when I do remember, I put it on. So just for future reference, if that always come back to burn me. Sweeping new powers. Oh no, I won't do that one. A Tory candidate said people on Benefit Street need to be put down. This was a text she said from 2014. Benefit Street from Birmingham. They did a programme on a street in Birmingham where all the residents were on benefits. I lived on one of those. I grew up on one of those kind of streets, so I'm not going to knock them too much. Although it was literally just poverty porn when it was literally they picked a street where it's like the worst kind of situation, you know, worse, you know, it was a shitty estate. Well, it's just fucking real life for people on that street, but, you know, they just made it so people can ridicule them, is what I'm trying to say. You know, people who weren't working and probably didn't have much intention of getting a job, or for whatever reasons. But this person said, have you seen these people on Benefit Street? The people are unreal. I think they need my blood is boiling. These people need putting down. And she's a Tory candidate, so that's just some shit that's come back on her from 2014. And she's had to apologise and whatever else because she said it was off the cuff comment, but it's not off the cuff. You've like tweeted it, haven't you? And it doesn't have to be a Tory candidate. That's just the fucking haves and the have-nots from anybody. You know, as I said, there's many people in that situation who are not necessarily fucking good TV material, and they're in the situation where they need to be on that. So you've highlighted people that you might fucking have a thing to say about, but unfortunately, you can't create a situation in what am I fucking trying to say here? You can't create a system where people are struggling and have to be in that position and then fucking slag them off for being in that position. Anyway, let's move on. I'm not a party political man. Playing Bob Marley on Guy Fawkes night can help calm your pets. Is for all those dogs. I've seen some videos on Facebook the last couple of days of dogs shitting themselves, literally shivering to fuck on. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, you just couldn't imagine that the dog is that frightened, but you're stroking him and that, but he's literally shivering like he's just got out of a fucking ice bath. And there was a dog today that was in the paper that died after having a heart attack. So from the fireworks. So put Bob Marley on, the dogs will start, relaxing and chilling out. You have to play reggae music, slow and the beats soothe the dog. And I think there was a picture, a Facebook video of a dog in Jamaica bobbing its head to some reggae music and everything like. So I think it's true. The dogs like reggae. So it's a shame for them. So they've obviously got really proper sensitive hearing, haven't they? You know, when the dog's ear goes up when they hear something that nobody else can hear. So the fireworks are obviously like they're in the fucking war zone or something. So get Bob on. Let's chill it out. You can all maybe light a spliff as well. Maybe get that going around the room. Might give the dog a little bit of fuck it, whatever. I don't care if there's a war going on. I'm like, gonna just chill out here and eat my dog biscuits. You know. Grease. Olivia Newton-John as outfit from the Grease film has sold for 300 something thousand altogether. A jacket 188,000, trousers 125,000. So it's got a picture of them. I mean, they look the business, didn't they? In the day, in that film, Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. They looked, you know, it's a shame they look like, you know, photographic. They're frozen in time in that film. It's a shame that they've had to get older. They must look back at that themselves and go, wow. Well, John Travolta, he's lost his hair now. He's about 60 odd or whatever, and she's like, I can't know what age she is, but when you look back, at least you've got something like that. You're frozen in time. But in Greece, it's almost like it's like the perfect version of them, isn't it? Anyway, we can always watch it. I've still got the moves, no matter what age I've got. No matter how old I get. Well, where are we going now? Well, last few, we're going to do a few more. Teeth, British teeth. Brits' teeth are worse now than they were 350 years ago. Fucking scientists reckon. Have you seen some of the films from people from 350 years ago? They've only ever got about one tooth, ain't they? I think people used to die of tooth decay in those days. It was like, you didn't have dentists and stuff, did they? If you had rotten teeth, they were just pulled out. So you weren't much of a catch when you got to about the age of 30. You know, half your teeth missing. But there you go. They've got better teeth than what we have, according to skull gnashers and skull. Or maybe that was the period between now and then. 350 years ago. They've checked it on 224 skulls, and their teeth, well, they didn't have Haribos and all the sweets and boiled sweets and stuff that we munch on now, do we? All the chocolates and all the junk food and all the shit. They just had potatoes and whatever they could grow. I bet most peasants didn't get to eat meat and stuff. So 1600s, that's where it is, the 350 years ago. So I think after that, that's when you had all the people with next to no teeth. Who knows what caused it? Theatre audiences, my teeth ain't no good anyway. My teeth are good, but I've had some proper issues with bloody what's it called? What's the ones at the back? Wisdom teeth. My wisdom teeth have just given me a fucking, literally, I mean, somebody else might be able to agree with me here, but I've had literally nothing but problems with my wisdom teeth. I've got one left, and I can't take it. I've had them all took out individually, and the one I've had that I haven't had took out, I can't, because it's coming through sideways, and I had to have the tooth out that's in front of it, because it was coming through like that, and they said because it's so big and on its side, it's on my nerves, so they couldn't take it out. So I had to have the other tooth taken out. So now there's just a gap between the other tooth and that one, and it's still moving even today. So there you go. Maybe I should have been born in the 1600s. Maybe I've been reincarnated. Right, cash-strapped councils are blowing more than £300,000 a year between them on tea and biscuits. How English does that sound? Very, very British. The top of the list is Lincolnshire, which spent £16,000. And then Dorset forked out £14,000 on McVitie's Family Circle biscuits. 14 grand. Fucking hell. I mean, that's ridiculous. Who's eating them? You know, let's measure their teeth. I bet their teeth are proper rotten if they're eating 14 grand's worth of Family Circle biscuits, Thai food tea and Kenko coffee. And Labour, third place was Hackney Council with fair trade tea and biscuits. So we'll give them a pass for buying fair trade. I mean, that's a lot of £1,000 just on biscuits. I mean, some of us have to tighten our belts. They're just literally going, what? 16 grand? Biscuits? Yeah, buy them. Doesn't matter. It's coming out of fucking taxpayers' money. Not my pocket. That's the way they look at it. Right, I'm going to finish up on one more thing. Theatre goers. Can we finish up on that? I'll finish up on two more things. The theatre audiences will no longer hear the phrase "ladies and gentlemen" under new gender-neutral guidelines. Sorry, I'm not on board with that at all. It comes after Actors Union Equity published advice from those working with LGBT performers. Venues are being asked to adapt the front of house as well as backstage. That's just bollocks. I'm sorry. That's just, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, it's tradition. It always has been, and it's not even offensive to people. It's only offensive to a very, very small minority who choose to decide, or not decide, to feel or whatever, which is fine, and that's like all good, and all respect to them if that's what they choice. But ladies and gentlemen, your next act or whatever they choose to be, it's just, what else are you going to say? It's like, oh, it's gone crazy. That's political correctness, and this whole business of trying not to offend somebody who probably wouldn't be bothered or be offended anyway. You know, if they are, then they're just kind of points of view type people who, you know, will make time to sort of write a letter to make their voice heard for something that's just got doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Just really doesn't matter. My opinion, some people are going to disagree with that. The average family, we'll finish up on this one, the average family has 200 full-on arguments a year, with leaving the loo seat up among the top 10 causes. So families are squabbling over and nicking people's food, leaving the milk out, all that stuff. Even shit all over the fucking, all over the kitchen top. Not doing your washing up. The list is endless, but leaving the toilet seat up is the top one, and that's the ladies, because the ladies complaining about that, because why would they want to come in and see pee all over the floor, all over the rim? Put the seat down, and then you can hide that from your respective lady friends or wives. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.